lot of the misinformation that has been going on since Wednesday. I'm tired of hearing people talk out of their ass, and we're gonna get into this today. I want to start off by saying we do have an X space going. If you go to my profile at the Rob 1772, you will see the X space pinned to the top of the page. And we also, for the first time, have an Chatter room going. So Chatter is a social audio app, and it integrates HD video, HD audio, and unlimited amount of speakers on the stage. And it's a really cool app, and we finally got all of it working with the live and everything else. So if you don't have Chatter and you're interested, go to either the Play Store or the Apple store where you Apple people get your garbage from. Download the Chatter social app and follow me on Chatter social and join the room over there. So it's basically like Spaces on steroids, live video and again, unlimited people that come up on stage. So if you haven't heard by now and you've been living under a rock, Charlie Kirk was assassinated on Wednesday. And this sent reverberations through the entire conservative movement. So we went live about 20 minutes after it happened, and maybe half an hour at the most, the Warboy Studios. Myself, Patty, Barry, Kim, all of us that are on, our hosts on the Warboy Studios, we went live. And watching the video, well, first of all, let's talk real. It broke my fucking heart that we are in such a place in this country that people are being killed for their speech. And then slowly after that, it trickled out that the psychopaths on the left were praising his death. And him getting shot, honestly, and this is telling. This is the thing. Him getting shot didn't shock me. I was not surprised. Brokenhearted and surprise and shock are two different things. I was brokenhearted that it happened. I'm brokenhearted that he died. But shocked that a psychotic leftist took his life because they believe him to be a homophobe, or they believe him to be a bigot, or they believe him to be a transphobe, or an Islamophobe, or whatever phobe, ist, or ism that they wanted to call him, whatever label, dog whistle, that we are so far gone in this country, that we are so fucking cooked in this country, that people are getting shot and killed for their political speech. The divisiveness in this country is directly caused by the left. And if you want to argue that with me, you can. But I can go back to 1984 and point out to you when the left decided they wanted to take away free speech from people because they were offended. Well, what are you talking about, Rob? Well, for those of you that don't know, all you millennials and Gen Z have no idea what the PMRC is. Parents Music Resource Center. Spearheaded and created by Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife, a Democrat. She was offended by Darling Nikki. Everybody goes, no, it was Two Life Crew. No. Two Life Crew was after that. Get your facts straight. Read the story. She was offended that her daughter was listening to Prince's Darling Nikki. And she went, what? What? What was that, Kyle's mom? Yeah. said, no, we can't have this. So she used her political power because of her husband to create something called the PMRC, which then in turn turned into the parental advisory stickers on albums. She is the reason why there is a parental advisory on this album, on albums nowadays. She tried to take away musicians' freedom of speech. The left has been doing this for as long as I can remember. They don't like offensive speech. They're the ones that deemed it offensive. And 41 years later, we have people being shot while exercising their freedom of speech. Now, there's also a lot of misinformation going on right now about the shooter, who I'm not going to name, that he came from a Christian, conservative, Republican family. And now the left wants to spin it that it was a Christian, conservative kid. Well, I consider myself to be a constitutional conservative, but I have a daughter who is as lefty as it gets. And she was indoctrinated that way when she went to college. She grew up in a very conservative household. I've always had conservative values. I have always railed against the left being crybabies in their safe spaces. I have always put the screws to people that are like, oh my God, I'm hurt. Oh my God, you said a bad word and now my feelings are hurt and I feel physical pain by a word. A word consists of two things, sound and air. And if sound and air can hurt you, then you're not somebody I want in my life, first of all. Second of all, you're a fucking pussy. Plain and simple. You're not anybody that I want to spend any time around if words hurt your feelings. There's not a word on this planet or anything you could say to me that would ever offend me. And if you're a man, it's even worse. If you're a man and you say that you're offended by a word, get out of my face, beta. If you can't handle vulgarity, if you can't handle somebody calling the truth, but this is where we are. This is where we are in this country right now, that Charlie Kirk can say that there are only two sexes. Transgenderism is a mental disorder. That we shouldn't be transing our children. Children should be off limits. No puberty blockers, no double mastectomies, none of that for children. Going around, and he can go around and say, we need to get this narrative out of fucking elementary schools and high schools. We shouldn't be teaching this shit to kids. We shouldn't be talking to kids about anal sex, dental dams, and what they pass off as health today. To me, that's a normal mindset. Hey, leave the kids alone. The difference between Charlie Kirk and I is that I'm way more out there than he is. He was able to sit down and have a normal conversation with people and bring people up and say, all right, you know what? I want to hear your perspective, but here's the problem with your perspective. Here you go. And go back and forth. And he was calm and he was measured and he was intelligent and he was caring. I can sit and disagree with somebody all day long about their politics. I'm capable of doing that, but I'm also capable of not excising them from my life. I'm capable of having a conversation with somebody. I have plenty of people that I consider friends to be on the left that, while I disagree with everything that they disagree with me on, but at the end of the day, all right, we're cool. We used to be able to do that. We used to be able to find common ground with one another. There is no common ground anymore. You know, it's not hyperbolic or overly dramatic to say this is the shot number 2 heard around the world. What happened on Wednesday? This was a psychotic leftist who was indoctrinated in college into this leftist bullshit ideology that transgenderism is a real thing. It's not. That homosexuality should be accepted and is right, and it's not. These are the same people that are telling you that Islam is great for this country, and it's not. It's diametrically opposed to American values and incompatible with Western civilization. That is a fact. And that's what he gets shot for. Having a view that's contrary to the left, to what they're indoctrinating our kids into. And also, we're here, and I believe this because I've seen it. This is our fault. Charlie Kirk dying is our fault. Rob, how can you fucking say that? You know why? Because you, motherfuckers, conservatives, Republicans, Christian conservatives, allowed them to steamroll over us for 20 fucking years. Because you were too afraid to push back on the don't ask, don't tell movement. And now you have a bunch of psychotics that have co-opted what was an altruistic movement by people, adults, grown people, who wanted to love who they wanted to love and be left the fuck alone. But the LGBTQ and all the other fucking letters were co-opted by psychos. Most of those straight, white, liberal women. We are here because we were too afraid 20 years ago, 30 years ago, of getting the dreaded homophobe label. Nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted to hear that they were a racist. Nobody even wanted to hear that they were a bigot. They were too afraid. They were too afraid of the left. They were too afraid of getting canceled because the internet's a fucking thing. They were too afraid of losing their jobs. We allowed this to happen. The left has been like this for 40 years. Where the fuck have you been? Obviously not paying attention to what goes on around you. We fought it in the 80s. We fought the PMRC in the 80s very loudly. We told Tipper Gore to go fuck herself. There are many, many heavy metal songs that deal with this. One of those songs is from Anthrax. It's called Starting Up a Posse. We, the Gen X metalheads, fought against the left. Heavy metal is not the bastion of liberal ideology that you think it is. I watched what happened in 1993 with Waco. Where the fuck were you? Not paying attention to what's going on around you. I fought back against my own people, my own side of the aisle, when the Patriot Act came out. I said, you motherfuckers are out of your goddamn mind if you think this is okay, that it's all right if we're giving up our sovereignty and our freedom for a little bit of temporary security. Oh, no, Rob, that'll never be used against us. Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. Look at where we are now. Every single president since then has not only signed off on it, but has expanded it. Obama being the worst. You want to trace back Charlie Kirk's murder? We go back 40 years. When we allowed the left the power that they have now to censor our First Amendment right of free speech. We didn't fight hard enough in the 80s. We didn't scare them enough to say, you can't do this. You're not doing this. We will not allow you to. One thing President Trump did for this country when he came down that aisle was embolden people to be able to have these conversations again. Didn't embolden enough. It didn't incentivize and energize enough people. But one of those voices was Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk went to these colleges, a compassionate man. He wanted to bring peace and solidarity to people. He wanted to help these people that had this crazy mindset to find peace and solace in reality in a way that I've never seen anybody do. There are plenty of people like him in the conservative movement that are outspoken, extremely outspoken, like me. But nobody's Charlie Kirk. I'd like to say that I would aspire to be like Charlie, but I know I could never be. I'm a different animal altogether. But nobody brought facts and realism, not even Steven Crowder. And nobody brought a sense of Christian love and compassion like he did to these colleges. Charlie focused on colleges because that's where the indoctrination was happening. This is why TPUSA was so successful. What is it? I think I might be wrong, and when we go to our live audience, I'll ask. But it was 3,800 campuses have a TPUSA in it. I think that's what I read yesterday. 3,800. That's a fucking movement. Charlie Kirk is responsible for millions of millennial and Gen Z conservative voters. And just like the Proud Boys, that scares the shit out of the left. The Proud Boys were created for men to have a men's club. No ladies, sorry, you can go do your own thing. This is a men's club, like the Know Nothings, like the Shriners, like the Knights of Columbus used to be. And the left lost their mind. The feminists lost their fucking mind. They were like, no way, men can't gather and talk about conservative values and conservative ideas. No, we can't do this. We have to stop it. So what did they do? They sent their foot soldiers, Antifa, after any time the Proud Boys would have either a meetup or, go to a conservative caucus or a conservative convention. And they would stab people who were wearing the black and gold Perry, because they don't want you to have your freedom of speech, because that is the scariest thing to them. Information, true information, no confirmation bias, none of this bullshit. They don't want people like us to hold spaces like I'm doing right now. They don't want people like me to hold chatter rooms. They don't want me to have a fucking platform. Because we are the voice of reason. They didn't want Charlie Kirk to have a platform. It's the reason why he was wearing body armor. This is the world that we're living in now, where people are trying to exercise their First Amendment right, and they have to worry about wearing body armor because the left wants to kill them. This is a sad day, America. This has been a sad couple of days. That this is the America that I'm going to be leaving to my children. And you expect me not to fight for it? You're out of your fucking mind. Because I am going to fight for it. I'm going to fight for conservative values. I'm going to fight for the Constitution. I'm going to fight my school district if they try to teach my son about transgenderism and homosexuality in school. I will go to the school board. I have gone to the school board. I will not allow Antifa or BLM or the trans movement to attack somebody, a grandmother and a grandfather, because they're wearing a MAGA hat. I'm not going to allow you to do that. That shit's not going to happen in front of me. I will fuck you up. and not have a problem doing it. You will not be touching grandmothers and grandfathers. You will not be touching women and children. And we need more like me that aren't afraid. You're not afraid to defend your family, defend your communities, defend your towns, defend your cities, defend your states. We need more people like me that are going to stand up and you're not afraid of the label. Yes, I'm a racist. Yes, I am a homophobe. Yes, I am a transphobe. Yes, I am an Islamophobe. Yes, I am a bigot. Because nothing I say is going to matter. If I tell you I'm not, you've already made it up in your mind. Because I'm a conservative, because I voted for Trump 3 times, I am all of those things. Go ahead. I'm not fighting you anymore. You have it made up in your head that that's what I am? Go for it. I don't care. Because you know what? You can't do shit to me. You can't cancel me. Even before doing this, I own my own construction company and I only work for conservatives. I won't swing a hammer for a liberal. And I never have. And I carved out a niche for myself. A niche that made me uncancelable. So, dude, you do your best. You can't fuck with me. You will never shut me up. And I will never fucking stop. So I'm not afraid of the labels. I'm not afraid of getting canceled. What I am afraid of, though, is watching my country slowly get destroyed by 1,000 fucking paper cuts. And us not doing anything to stop it. If you didn't think we were in a war before, we are absolutely in a war now. We're in a war for the soul of this country. We're in a war for the hearts and minds of American citizens. We're at war for Western civilization and American exceptionalism. And I really honestly hope if you weren't awake before, after Charlie getting shot, you are awake now. Time to wake up, America. I know I've been. And I've been screaming at the top of my lungs for 30 years that we need to wake the fuck up. I really hope this woke you guys up and this was the worst. And you know what? I think if this does incentivize and energize people, Charlie being the guy that Charlie is, I think he would be, I would think he would have some kind of solace in that. He's with God right now and seeing if his death helps America to heal, it shouldn't have gone that way. I think he would be relieved because that's the kind of guy he was. Rest in peace, Charlie. Thank you guys very much for joining me today on Critical Mass with me, your host, Patriot Rob. I'd like to let you guys know that we don't get paid to do this. None of us do. Shit. I think Enrique's maybe got like 30 cents in his bank account. But I have been trying to do things. I'm never going to be have subscriptions or any of that shit because I'm not a clout chaser. I don't like that fucking influencer bullshit. And I think that my voice is made to help people, again, energize them and incentivize them. And I don't think that you should have to pay for that. But if you did want to help me out personally, and you want something tangible, go to the 1776.shop, and we have the Critical Mass merchandise, which is our shirts. And I think the sweatshirts are live now that we're going into bougie white girl pumpkin spice season. But yeah, so 1776.shop, and all of the guys on the studio, the American Rise, Enrique, we all have our products up there. There is a Critical Mass shop. I think the shirts came out awesome. They look great, and that's a way to be able to support me in this endeavor. And if you buy a shirt, I would truly appreciate it. That is as far as I'm going to go. hawking my product. I do it one time a show, and that's it. So everybody that's watching right now, the almost 1,000 people that are on the live, I appreciate you guys more than you know. We are doing an X Space right now. If you go to my profile at the Rob 1772, it is pinned to the top. We have our host over there, Conservative Pen, and we are also doing a Chatter room. So Chatter is a social audio app. It is a new-ish app, and I think it's gonna revolutionize social audio. It's like X Spaces, if you know X Spaces. It's like X Spaces, but you can do video, and you can have an unlimited amount of speakers up on the stage. And I think it's going to kick a lot of ass coming up in the future, because I think it's great now. And yes, we also got comments going, and thank you guys very much for the comments. 3,500 high school, college campuses nationwide. Hang on one second. Let me bring that up. Comment. Turning Point has over 3,500 high school and college campuses nationwide and over 250,000 student members. That is impressive. Yes, Dale. You guys don't remember, all you youngins, call me a boomer and shit. You don't remember that Morton Downey Jr. was fighting the PMRC in the 80s too. You guys need to look up who Morton Downey Jr. is. The dude was a fucking genius. He was awesome. I love him. All right, so everybody, we do have a chatter room going, and we have a space going. Penn, do we have any hands right now?
I don't see any hands, but anybody that wants to come up and talk, ask the question, just raise your hand and we'll get to you.
I don't like to raise hands, but I'll raise hands.
Yeah. While the live show's going on, we're going to raise hands. We are absolutely.
Okay, my hand's raised.
Okay, Crypto Santa, go ahead.
Thanks for hosting the space, Rob. You were the first person I met to get me Kirk. The man talked about God, country, freedom, family, love. Just wanted to have conversations with people that had differing opinions. Was able to get onto college campuses, which many conservatives over the years have been banned from for speaking about the same thing, and sadly lost his life. 31 years old, two children, beautiful wife, who hopefully can, from my understanding, she, as she grieves this loss, she's a writer in her own right, and will hopefully be able to take on the tradition of Turning Point. It is an amazing organization, getting the youth aware of what's going on around them with global deep state propaganda. And I mean, that's where I start getting in with global deep state and how there's a plan to take them down. There is a plan, and people should be at least relieved or happy or have some faith in the side of good defeating the side of evil. And it's coming. Nothing can stop it. And God bless you all.
Thanks, Crypto Santa. We do have looks to be a lot of hands in the space.
I got a list. Who starts first? I've been keeping track.
I think I saw Deep's hand first. So go ahead, Deep, and then it's co-host's call after that.
Yeah, no, great space, Rob. Great to see you. Just a very quick question. Obviously the shooter, we found out his identity today. We found out his background. I was just kind of curious to get your opinion on how many more of these radicalized individuals do you think exist in this country on the left that would, try to take out people because of, they don't like what they have to say. And how do we as, conservatives structure free speech in the future with all of these, rallies and public events? In your opinion, I would love to get your thoughts. Thanks.
So there are more than you know, okay? And so this is part of the misinformation campaign that's going on, that the left can't shoot. There is something called the John Brown Gun Club. Look them up. They are Antifa that go and train.
Yep.
Okay? So you guys don't realize that they are training for what they believe to be a war that's coming with us. There's no doubt about it. Another misinformation that's going around right now is that was a professional shot. Let me explain something to you. A Mauser chambered in 30-06 with even a half decent scope can hit 200 yards easily. You don't have to have a dope card. You don't know how to. You don't have to figure out mills or MOA for that matter. If you got your scope dialed in and you got a powerful enough scope, even a medium one, you can hit 200 yards. So Wednesday we called it on my show. I had said that it was a 308, and Crazy Knight said it was a 30-06, and which is pretty much the same round. It's a 30 caliber round. The sound of that round, watching the video, listening to that sound, that was not a 5.56. Showed another angle that we were talking about that night too. If you guys go back and watch the video, you'll see it for yourself. They were showing another video from Charlie Kirk's left side. Somebody was standing at his side, and it looked like the shirt went up. So where his ribs are, where it went up. And I speculated that it could have been close range with a pistol. Now we find out it wasn't, and that's fine. And but the way that video made it look like that. And then obviously again it was too new, but there was no way that it was a 5.56. Anybody could hear for themselves if you have any time on the range and you've shot a 5.56/223 or 308 or 30-06, there's a definite difference in the sound. So we thought it was a much higher caliber than that. And as far as your other question goes, Deep, listen, the only way we can combat this is to not be afraid. We have to be an overwhelming force in this, that they're not going to stop us. The government tried to stop us with January 6th. They tried very hard to shut down conservative voices, and the conservative movement. Everybody got afraid. Nobody rallied anymore. Nobody went out and did pro-life rallies anymore because there were people that were getting arrested at abortion clinics for just praying. This is what the left and their government did to us for 4 fucking years. We can't let something like this stop us from being American. We can't let this stop us from espousing American values and Western culture. That's the only way we're going to win this. We can't let this stop us. Then this should incentivize us to do it more. Now, unfortunately, there are radicals on the left that are going to try to hurt people. The loudest voices are the ones that are going to have the targets on their back. But we can't live in fear, because if what they're doing is terrorism. It is the very definition of terrorism. You are shutting down political speech through violence and fear tactics. We can't let the terrorists win. And if you don't have a gun, go out and get a gun. Train with it. Just about every gun store nowadays has a range attached to it. If it doesn't have a range, they know a local range. Join your local gun club. Pay for people to teach you how to use this responsibly. and train. Because if you don't think it's coming at this point, you are completely and utterly unaware. I advocate everybody to go out, get a gun, train with it, learn how to use it, and protect your family, protect your communities. It's not up to the police to protect you. It's not up to the government to protect you. You are the one that is responsible for protecting yourself, your family, and your communities. I hope that answers your question, Deep.
Absolutely, it does. Thank you. Yep. No, I think we gotta stop taking things not seriously anymore. And I think many people took things very lightly, and I think this should be a wake up call when it comes to self defense. Getting maybe guns in these rallies, getting people to actually armed people in these rallies. Um, but I think the time for not being armed is no more. So thank you.
I think Facts Matter was next, Penn. And if we can find somebody, if anybody else is interested No?
The 88 is.
Okay, and then Facts Matter. We're going to need
yes,
another
and
co-host.
I do need another co-host.
Yes.
Yeah.
Angela, you up for it?
Yeah, I can for you.
All right.
Hey,
Thank you.
Rob.
I was just texting.
Yes.
On chatter here, Taylor had his hand up, and now Crypto Santa has his hand up.
Okay, so hang on 1 second, Space. Before we go to the 88, we're going to go to Taylor. Taylor, go ahead.
Hey, Rob, enjoying the show. No, I was just, I just want to comment. People were talking about in another room. Yes.
Taylor, you're coming in really bad.
You know, all this, you needed this really. Sorry. I got a bad service. Just come back.
Okay, so we're going to go to the 88 American.
Sorry about that, Rob.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Are you good, or do you?
Is he good, or is he going to go?
88 American, you go right ahead.
Hey, Patriot Rob, I changed my name on the thing. My name is David Dempsey. I've talked with you before. I'm a J6er. I got the second highest sentence out of anybody for J6. I got 20 years for it, and I just wanted to.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were in competition with Enrique.
Yeah. He said he didn't want me to beat his record, so I almost did. But I just wanted, first and foremost, thank you for the space and giving me the ability to speak. I won't take up too much of your guys' time because I know there's a lot of hands, a lot of people. But rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, and condolences to his family, especially his kids and his wife. Having to see that horrible shit transpire. And I know there's a lot of rumors and speculation, and I had two questions that I wanted to ask about the event. That was for you, Rob, because you have a history in like the guns and the military training and stuff. I wanted to ask, what is your opinion about the guys in the videos that were standing behind him, the guy with the white hat and the guy with the black shirt that seemed to be doing some sort of like, the tip of the hat with the ear.
The hand signals.
Do you feel as though that had, that it was just people reading into it? Because my personal take on it is this, is whether it's a loony lefty or it was an orchestrated hit, I believe that the mission was the same, which was to eliminate the truth, especially because he talked about Christ, and that it backfired when they realized it wasn't going to go their way. But I'm just curious to know, do you really think that there was no outside involvement, or do you really think it was just this dude?
So I watched those videos, and I think that, a lot of this, if somebody was scratching their ass because they were sweaty, that they were going to take this and use that as fodder too. Listen, obviously, what it looks like, they look like they're making signals, dude. I mean, that you can't deny that. It's right in front of your face. But at the same time, did the fly in the guy's fucking face. I know we all want to have these hyperbolic conspiracy theories like be true for some reason, and I don't understand that. Like, there's plenty of actual conspiracy theories out there that really need to be delved into. Do I think he acted alone? I don't know, man. I don't know, and I can't say with certainty either way, because this is all new. Everything is as we're going along, we're learning stuff. This is a very kinetic situation where things change every 5-10 minutes. You know, we're probably not going to even have all the information for a year from now. But I can tell you this: if it was, and I say that with the biggest capital if I can possibly do, if this was a coordinated hit, we'll never know. They will never allow that information out. So what I want to focus on, honestly and truly, and this is going to blow up the space, but I own a lot of body armor. A lot. And there's something called spall coating on this armor. This is some of the misinformation I'm seeing today, and it's bothering the shit out of me. And they have this stuff on level 4 plates, which are rifle round rated 308. They have this stuff called spall coating. And then on the part that's up against your chest, if you have a decent one, it has what's called a trauma pad, so that it absorbs some of the impact. What that looked like to me, and I said it that night, you guys can go back and watch it, is that I said it looked like a large caliber round. It hit the plate, and it spalled into his neck. Now, why was he wearing armor that didn't have spall coating on it? And if it did, that's a failure on the armor.
He wasn't wearing armor.
No, he wasn't? Who said that? Was that Chad?
Well, yeah, it was me. Yeah, there's too much video to show he's not wearing armor unless he got something from the Galactica. His nipples are even shown in his shirt in multiple pictures. He was not wearing
Okay,
armor.
because the original reports were saying that he did wear body armor when he did go to these things.
Sometimes, but this was also one of the very Antifa places, so I figured he would be wearing armor.
Right.
I don't know. I'm sure that'll come out, but it was Michael Bodden's CSI scientist that explained how the shirt moved and everything, because she was saying that he got hit and it basically went through his chest, eviscerating his chest, going out. The neck wound was the exit.
The exit wound. Okay. Well, I mean, listen, if we're going to listen to somebody in that field, it's definitely Dr. fucking Michael Bodden. I'm gonna listen to that dude, because that dude really knows what the hell he's talking about. All right, so we have a hand over in chatter. Let me go to that, and then we're gonna come back to Facts Matter. Go ahead, Crypto Santa.
Thank you for letting me speak.
I'm quick. My daughter just got off the bus, but yeah, these these foot soldiers are trained by the propaganda. My parents are basically foot soldiers because they watch MSNBC. They hate Trump. They think he's the spawning of Satan. But I got to roll. Love you guys. God bless.
All right, Crypto Santa. Facts Matter. Go ahead. And wait, hang on. Go ahead, Goldilocks, since you're a co-host.
Well, I just wanted to let everybody know that there are several people waiting to get up. So if you don't have your hand up, I need to rotate people, but you can always request back up. But I do need to let some of these people up. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
All right.
Also, can we keep sharing out this space, please?
Yes. Thank you very much. Facts Matter. What's up, brother?
Yeah, just like what you were saying earlier, a $400 setup from Walmart would make that shot. It's really not nothing to it. But the two guys standing behind there, they were both his friends. The guy in the white shirt was arrested and questioned and then released. The guy in the black shirt just looked like he was adjusting his shirt for the camera. He was questioned, and then nothing ever become about it. Apparently, they were his friends. But main reason I wanted to say was that the Democrats are desperately trying to respin this narrative, and for whatever reason, their posts are getting millions and millions of views. There's no community notes on them or anything. So anybody that comes across these posts, just request a community note. I don't know why the app is not noting these posts saying that he was a conservative MAGA. Sarah Fields has already debunked that and released his voting record. The guy is unaffiliated.
Yep.
And it's pretty damn infuriating. But I'll yield back. Great space, and I'll drop down to listener. Thanks, guys. Peace.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Who do we have next, Penn?
Hey, Rob.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Chad. Yeah. Chad, go ahead.
Sorry. I just wanted to speak on the two guys. White guy in the white shirt is a associate producer and does a lot of his socials. The guy in the hat that was doing the baseball signals. And then the guy in the black shirt has been a long time head of security of Turning Point USA. I actually met him with Ben Bergworm at TPUSA when we had it out with Antifa at the last, I think Turning Point Action is what it was in Tampa when me and the older millennial got in a fight with Antifa. So yeah, those guys I would have a real hard time believing because but we're dealing in different times and I'm glad they were questioned. But at the end of the day, and I saw the I think it was the tier 1 booklet or something talking about how tip in the hat is sniper and all that. You know, again, these are people pretty close to him and they're not like they're random guys, especially the head of to, with a lack of a better word, groom these crazy ideologues that are looking for information on Discord, and they build up their information. One of the things that I think they slipped on in talking to my intel buddies, and just I recognized it, is they talk about how he lived at home, but he was sending all this stuff between him and his Discord or his roommate. If he lived at home, he didn't have a roommate. I understand that could be college or an ex-roommate, but they don't say that. And we know Discord is something that was used also with Trump's assassin that tried to use it. So we know they use Discord. We know they use Telegram, and the problem is was he helped? Quite possibly, but did they know about each other? That's even more possible. That's the new way that cells are being used.
Yeah, it sucks because, I'm going to let my inner nerd out here for a second. I play a game called the Division 2, and most of the content creators on YouTube have Discords, and we go in there and we talk about like our builds and shit because it's an RPG. It's a Tom Clancy fucking game. And I didn't even realize Discord was being used for that shit until a couple of weeks ago when I was in a space and somebody was talking about it, and I went, holy fuck, really? That just sucks. Now I got to delete fucking Discord off my phone. Penn, who do we have next?
We have Jeff, and then we'll go to Texas Elizabeth, and then Greg.
All right. Texas Elizabeth.
Hey, guys.
Oh, no, Jeff. Jeff.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
Jeff.
ahead, Elizabeth.
No.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
There's a Southern gentleman right there.
Skip over Crazy. He's an idiot.
Oh, I didn't even see you in here, bro.
We'll get Texas to you. Elizabeth, do you have a question?
No, I'm responding to something that was said. This should have started back in the 70s when the atheists were going around and getting us to take down the 10 Commandments out of every state and federal building and all of this. I tried to fight it, But unfortunately, the internet wasn't around at that time. And all the preachers were telling me I needed to be more loving and compassionate. And I was only 16, 17, 18. So I did not have a whole lot of pull anywhere. So, Rob, there are some of us that did try to fight long before the internet came along.
Oh, I know,
Uh,
sweetheart.
the the other thing is, I am so tired of seeing these posts about blaming the family. His family was politically, his dad is the one that helped him get arrested. Come on, folks, let's think logically here. His father did not approve. His father had been a police officer. We need to just blame him and what he did. Just blame him. He was old enough to have a thinking mind. I taught my kids how to think. And like Rob, I have a daughter in her 40s that is so liberal, I don't dare bring up politics because she's one of those that will actually turn around and physically attack me, her mother. So don't even get me talking about her. And then I've got a daughter that she thinks exactly like I do. And she has cried for the past 2 days, and I'm worried about her because she is pregnant uh, over Charlie's death. So, I'm tired of always us parents getting blamed for everything when sometimes it is not the parents, it is the actual person and the people that he has decided to associate with.
And
That's all I want to say, Rob.
And Elizabeth, it's the people that don't have kids that are the first ones to talk a bunch of shit and have no clue what the fuck they're even talking about. Especially when it comes to that. Like if you don't have kids, don't just shut the fuck up. Seriously, because you could work your ass up and try your ass up and try to like instill these values in your kids. And most of all of my kids are conservative. I have one daughter that is very, very, very liberal, and she grew up with me as a father. And I didn't push religion on them. I didn't push my political views, but I did talk to them about what reality is. And she ended up going to UMass, and the kid that went into UMass was not the kid that came out of UMass. And it didn't matter how much I tried, and I think I did a pretty good job with my kids, and because I love being a dad, and I'm intrinsically involved in my kids' lives. And I didn't realize the impact that Charlie had until Wednesday night. And, the people in the space were privy to this, and the people that were watching the show were privy to this. My son, because my studio's in my basement, my son came downstairs. He got back from football, and he just had this fucking dour look on his face. And I paused the show, and I got up, and he just started bawling in my arms. My 15-year-old son bawling, saying, "Why, Dad, why?" And he goes, "I watched him all the time. He was such a good dude. I watched him he was like the only person on Instagram I watch. It's the only reason why I even went to Instagram in the first place was to watch Charlie." And it broke my fucking heart. Trying to explain to him, my son doesn't live a sheltered life. He doesn't. He's got me for a dad. And you think the shit that I say on the show is fucking, is wild. I'm even worse in real life. I am actually toned down on the show. I don't shy away from talking about anything when it comes to my kids. They ask me a question. "Dad, did you ever do this?" Fucking right, I did. I don't ever lie to my kids. I don't ever shield them from reality. But I try to keep some things because I don't want them to worry about me. But now my son's seeing it firsthand, and I had to have that conversation with him, man. And it was a fucking hard conversation. Crazy, go ahead.
Thanks, Ron. I need to get at CB. I might have.
You got to get at CB? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
It might have rethink everything since there was no body armor like caliber, because we all know what plays pachinko ball inside a body, and that was a high-powered rifle. So I don't know. I'm confused, and I don't like being confused.
Well, I mean, according to the ATF leak that Crowder put out, it was a fucking antique fucking Mauser 30-06.
Well, yeah, I called 30-06
Yep.
the moment I saw it. I mean, you remember. So, but you know, there's certain calibers that play pachinga ball inside of a body, and then there's certain calibers that will stay in the body, and then there's certain calibers that will have an entrance and exit wound. So, I'm just got to rethink this now since he wasn't wearing any body armor.
Well, the Baden chick said that it when it hit, however, you know how it does pachinga in there. She was pretty confident by his movement that the first real piece, other than possibly rib, would be his collarbone, which would send it into a tumble. And if you look at the hole, it looks like a tumble anyway. We're just still dealing with all of that velocity.
I never saw a hole in his shirt, so you know the video I got didn't reveal that to me. So thanks for
Well, if
the
you take a
update.
308 and you shoot just the shirt right off the rip, there ain't gonna be much of a hole. That thing's hauling.
No, yeah, for sure. But I
Especially
mean,
on a
the
white
video.
background.
Yeah, I copied that.
I think I'm going to do tomorrow because I'm going to have some time. I think I'm going to do a sound test so I can accurately explain to people what I'm talking about. And I'm going to put my camera at the 150-yard target I have on the range. And I'm going to shoot a 308 and a 5.56. And then you guys tell me, you know.
Is it going to be suppressed?
No. No, well, according to the pictures of that Mauser, it wasn't fucking suppressed.
It sure echoed like it was suppressed.
Yeah,
It sure sounded suppressed.
I know, but they're the FBI is showing pictures of the Mauser.
They're also not showing a 4-foot gun coming off the roof with him.
No,
there's a lot of things here that don't make sense.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what
the
I'm.
only time I want smoke out of alphabet soup is when I'm cooking it on the stove.
Yeah, ain't that the fucking truth? But hey, listen, you know, I'm gonna do the sound test. I'm gonna take my phone. I'm gonna set it up at the 150-yard target behind plexiglass, so the spalling doesn't fucking ruin my phone. And I'm gonna record the sound in the video, and then I'm gonna post it.
And hey, Rob, do you think the acoustics of where it was is going to have any effect? You know, like, did it maybe echo in the area because of all the buildings? Do you think that in an open space it might differ in sound than an enclosed area with buildings around it?
Well, my range has quite a bit of coverage around it, so it's very dense forest, and my house is to the right, and I have some buildings on there. I mean, we'll see. Listen, I'm more than willing to do the scientific shit. So, and it just also gives me an excuse to go out on the range. But we'll see. I don't even know, dude. Listen, I wasn't there. Phones. Every phone has got a different microphone on it. Everybody, nothing is ever the same. So, I'm gonna set up a Samsung S24. A Note S24, and I'm going to record it, and then I'm going to, I'm not going to do it with like my camera because the microphone is vastly different than a phone camera. And what we've seen so far, all of the sound and all of the video is coming from phone cameras. So that's the best way to try to reproduce the test.
So you're going to impress me and put a 50-cent piece at 500 yards? Right on, brother.
My range doesn't go out to 500 yards yet, damn it. I got a lot of fucking trees I got to cut down. Listen, I'm happy at 150 yards, dude. Listen, I think everybody should train for 100 yards and under. Anything over that, get your dope cards, people, because I think your engagement is going to be 100 yards.
Okay, can we?
Yeah.
Okay. Really quick, though,
No.
I have to say there's 193 people in here, and I only have 53 reposts, so I don't know what you guys are doing with your life, but I'm going to need you to repost this space, please. Also,
how do you do that?
Cap. You can go down to the purple pill, click that, and there is a little 2 arrows. It says 53 right next to it right now, but you just click that, and it's going to repost it. Jeff, Cap, and then Cookie, and then Virgil.
Jeff, go ahead.
Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing well today. 24 years ago today, I was en route to New York City from Houston with 10 bankers that were at Deutsche Bank. They were at a conference in Houston, Texas, when the Trade Center was hit and it fell over onto their building. And it took me about 29 hours and only made it into New Jersey at about 10:40 that night on the 12th. I looked out. They told us to stop at the edge of the hill, and we looked out, and there was still a puff of smoke 24 plus hours later, all the way down to the ground. And there was still debris floating 24 hours later. It's unbelievable. But to go from that point, my job is to help train the guys to protect the Boeing and Airbus aircraft in the United States. And from 9/11 till now, I think that we haven't had one hijack since then. Just really grateful and thankful that I was able to get this job to work with these guys and keep the airspace safe. But with Charlie Kirk, they assassinated him for and the fact that he didn't have an indoctrination from any university because he didn't go to college very long. He was an extremely intelligent individual, regardless whether he had a degree on a piece of paper from a university. And that made him seem that he was on the outside looking in. And I felt like he would have been a great president.
I don't disagree with
Rob,
you, Jeff. I don't.
He's a man of. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I could very easily see him running in 2034. Would that be it? Yeah, 2034. I could have very easily seen him running, and I would have very easily, without question, voted for him. I mean, if he got the nomination, that is. I already did that once where I ended up splitting the ticket and fucking myself pretty hard by voting for Ross Perot, but I voted with my intelligence and my rationale. I didn't realize. I mean, I was 18 years old and I voted for him. I felt that a businessman would be better running this country than Bill Clinton was, and I was never fucking wooed by Bill Clinton's fucking. I didn't never inhaled and him coming out and playing the saxophone on the Arsenio Hall like so many of my peers at that time. And I was like, I need to vote for Ross Perot, and I realized how bad that split the ticket, and it was guys like me that caused Bill Clinton to win. But I don't know. Some people say, Rob, that he was going to win no matter what. They wouldn't have made it that way.
We didn't know at the time, too, Rob, that Bill Clinton was in the pocket of H.W. Bush the same way as Barack Obama, through his stepdad, Lolo Sotero, worked for him as the director of the CIA. All those presidents, both Democrat and Republican, were under the Bushes, and they had control of the presidency basically from 1990 until Biden was released. And they didn't have Trump, but they had everybody else. They're all working together.
Thanks, Jeff. Who do we have next, Penn?
Is she having trouble? Oh.
It was me, Rob.
Cap. Oh, I'm sorry. Cap.
Cap, go ahead.
What's going on? How you guys doing? All right. I want to get back to the rifle that was used. So they're saying it was a Mauser, a 98K, which actually was produced during World War I, and it was in service in World War II. And if you've ever heard one of them fired, they're loud.
Mm-hmm.
Very loud. It has that 30-06 has a lot of powder.
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's what sets it apart, from .30 caliber and a 308. It's a fast mover and it has a lot of energy. I don't buy into the theory that went in his chest and came out of his neck. If it was a 30-06 fired from the Mauser 98K, if that hit straight into the neck, I mean, I watched that video over and over again, and it made whole. I mean, that's simple. If it was a tumbling round, you're talking NATO round. You're talking 223, 556. From a distance like that, sure. I mean, anybody that's served in the military, we know the NATO rounds will start tumbling after certain distance. What they do is when they do hit the body, a NATO round, it will ricochet. It may enter your chest and come out your fingertip. I mean, I'm just exaggerating, but that's how they're designed. This is a World War I, World War II German sniper rifle. If it's again, now there's a lot of them. Okay, there's been modifications. You could actually take them apart and split them in two, which would explain, him when he's going over the roof, how he had it in the bag. It's not a light rifle; it's a heavy rifle. I can't remember the weight on it, but it's hefty. I believe that it didn't ricochet off anything. That's how powerful this round is, and I think it just had a lot of energy, and at that range, that's close for that rifle. You don't even need a scope to fire that rifle. That's how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
You could fire that right through irons and still be accurate. Was he aiming for his carotid? Hell no. He was probably aiming center mass, and it rose on him when he pulled the trigger and ended off to the right. There's other theories too that the guy standing to the right of him with his arms folded.
Yeah,
that was a phone underneath his arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
that was some that's some KGB shit right there.
Yeah, let's not get crazy.
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
Now, the only other possibility is that there was something that was used that it's starting to come out with JFK, that his driver had a flechette.
Mm-hmm.
That when he turned around, if you ever watch footage of that, the driver turns and he's got a square thing in his hand and it's pointed right at JFK. Was it that? I don't know. I'm thinking JFK was taken out by multiple people. He had a lot of enemies. All right. The military industrial complex, the mafia, you name it. Lyndon B. Johnson.
Israel.
So you can Israel. Mossad could have played a part in that too. But anyway, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. We're never going to really find out the truth. But this here, a lot of people are speculating this kid acted on his own.
I don't believe that.
No, me either. And that's what I'm going to get to real quick. I don't want to take up a lot of time here. Got a lot of people with hands up. I'm speculating that somebody helped train him. Okay. Why, with 3,000 people in attendance, why wasn't there even a damn rent-a-cop on top of the roof walking on the roof up there, knowing that Charlie Kirk had threats against him? Fine. He had his security people down there, but they're not going to cover the roof. There was a handful of cops, from what I understand. You're going to have a big event like that, and you had threats against you, my question is, what's your security team doing? You're telling me you can't hire somebody just to walk on that roof and say, "Hey, there's someone up here." You know, give them a radio, something, arm them. It doesn't matter. You know, they. I'm telling you, I think it was allowed to happen. It was coordinated. It's just too clean, too clean. Um,
Plus, hey, Cap, I'm having a problem with the picture they showed. I haven't really said it out loud yet, but I think I will here because we got into the nomenclature of the weapon. That looks
yeah.
like a Remington 700 to me. It doesn't look
Right.
like a Mauser.
I was, yes, I was about that. That's why I was saying, they're claiming it was a Mauser 98K.
Yeah, it weighs 9 pounds, anywhere between
Right,
8.2 and 9 pounds.
right. But I'm
Empty.
with um I'm sorry,
Chad.
man. I'm with Chad. Um, if those pictures are the ones that I saw, that doesn't look like a Mauser.
Yeah, and that
So
Plus,
and that
it looks like the scope's backwards.
it looks like that.
yeah, I
That's
know,
some really
right?
fucked up eye relief on that thing. If you guys look at the picture, it's like that dude must have had cataracts at fucking 21 years old. I
I
mean,
know,
because
I
what
know.
the fuck,
Yeah,
man?
they need to find somebody with a black eye.
Somebody. Right, exactly.
That's
So
the other thing
what's
that
the
these
truth?
people and that's the thing. The people that don't know anything about guns or gun technology would look
Yeah,
at that and think that was normal, and that is not normal. Not by any stretch of
no,
the imagination. That's not normal.
not at all. And that's one of the things that stood out to me. I'm like, are you kidding me? We're going to start spinning this, that it was that. Uh,
And look, Cap, I don't
and
know
you,
if you were in here at the beginning of this, but I need you guys that I don't know how many people are in here now. There's over 200, I guess. And there's 1,500 watching right now. Thank you guys very much. I want to say thank you. And then there's almost 20 people in chatter, which I thank you guys very much for coming in today. I know this was a last minute thing. Shit. I totally lost what I was going to say, thanking people.
Fucking rookie.
Yeah,
Doing all
yeah.
your network shit, and you
I,
forgot what you was going to say.
I know, right?
First day shit, Rob. I
Oh
was
yeah,
going to say you've
first
been
day
killing
shit.
it lately, but now you're blowing it.
I'm fucking blowing it, dude. God damn it. No, listen, just yes. I'm sorry. What I was talking about at the beginning of this, Deep had asked me a question about somebody like this procuring a weapon and learning how to use it. There is a thing, and I know Chad knows this, but most people don't. There is a training group called the John Brown Gun Club, and it's specifically Antifa members that go out and train. They have been banned, and I don't agree with this because I am a 2A absolutist, but they have been banned from multiple fucking gun ranges because of who they are and what they're training for. So the people that are watching this that didn't hear me talk about this at the beginning, there is a group called the John Brown Gun Club. It is Antifa training for what they believe to be a war coming. So before anybody on the left wants to shit on quote unquote white conservative gun owners training, okay, look to yourselves. There is this group. I would not be surprised if we found out later on that he had some kind of connection to the John Brown Gun Club.
I maybe I'm gonna say that his dad was a freaking sheriff. I think he learned young to handle weapons. You
Well,
know,
yep.
I have a as a firefighter, I know a lot of guys that I go to the range with that are cops, SWAT, and all that. I was a SWAT medic, and we took their kids out there, their wives, to make sure they're proficient. It would be very weird for a conservative family, which they're probably right about. In finding somebody in that doctrination, it's just like if I learn to juggle when I'm 5 and I end up down the road and I end up in Vegas and I'm a clown that can juggle, I mean, they didn't teach me and I'm in Vegas and they're all mad at me, kind of a thing. Trying to make that correlation just because it wouldn't be the first. I mean, there's Navy SEALs that are in Antifa. I think there's 2 that have been recognized. So it all depends on ideology and where people decide to go with that ideology. So I don't doubt for a minute. And again, this wasn't this oh my god shot. It really wasn't. And
Right.
I keep telling people the pro concept of this, it being a pro job, had nothing to do with the shot. Had to do with how he got out of there and how he ended up there. That's where people don't understand the intelligence world and the actual monster that we're fighting. You saw John Solomon come out and say that for FBI, and from what I was told is that John Solomon wasn't supposed to say that, but John Solomon said that they had 135 really good leads and they have an idea, but they're also consulting foreign intelligence. Why? Notice they didn't say anything about that in the last press conference.
Rob, can I point something out real quick, Rob, that I forgot?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So this kid gets up there. Okay. Let's just say, say he didn't have training. All right. Say he grew up firing weapons. The thing of it is, he's not aiming at a deer. He's aiming at a human being. His heart rate's going to be up. His breathing's going to be up. Somebody had to teach him to stay cool.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, that could go to ideology too. If they have him fully groomed, I mean, he felt that he was doing the greatest thing on earth.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would bring everything back down to its training, right? Just like we were trained. And this is something that a lot of people will say in our groups, be it military, killing somebody is only hard once.
No.
And that's a screwed up thought process, but that grooming and concept can get you past that first shot. That's all I'm saying.
And Antifa soulless. There's nothing behind those eyes. Nothing. All right, so everybody in the space that's coming in right now, I want to thank everybody that's holding their hand up and being patient. I appreciate it. We're also running a chatter room, and we do have a hand over in chatter, and I don't want to leave the guys and ladies and gentlemen that are in chatter hanging. Taylor, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that earlier. I was driving through spotty service, but no, I was just going to comment. This is right when y'all started discussing the rifle and all that, and I'd been in another room yesterday, and they were all talking about, well, you had to have a high tech scope, whatever that means, and I was like, guys, you don't understand it. 150 or 200 yards, you could have like 20-mile-an-hour gust winds, and well, I won't say that, but at 200 yards. You don't have to. You can buy a $50 scope at Walmart, and if you're laying on a roof in the prone position, wind, humidity, none of that's going to affect the bullet.
Not with a
that
30-06.
And I was like, most likely. Now, if he was aiming for the artery, great, perfect shot. I highly doubt he was. Most likely, he jerked the trigger and pulled up. Just like if you anticipate the kick and you push, you're going to shoot down.
Yep.
But anyway, I'm kind of just regurgitating stuff that's already been said, but that's all I was going to say earlier. Thanks, Rob.
Hey, thanks, Taylor. I don't know who's next over there. I see we got a lot of hands. Again, thank you guys for your patience.
Cookie,
go ahead.
It's Cookie, Virgil, and then Southern Belle.
Good afternoon. Since this happens, I mean, there's these all kinds of wild theories. He was professional. This was a hit. Only a trained person can do this. Guys were giving signals with their hats, and all this is stupid bullshit. None of us know. None of us are going to know for a while. We all want to know, of course, and maybe we hope what we believe was there, and hopefully what a lot of people believe that was far from it. Utah hunting. His dad was law enforcement. So I'm like Chad said, I'm and they're evil people that do evil shit. And they do it by themselves. They're not part of a cell. They're not trained here. We're not part of this group or anything else. We have no idea. But, hopefully all of this will come out at some point here fairly soon, and we'll know. Somebody was talking about why you have an officer walking all the roofs. Well, how are you going to know something is going to happen at an event? You have an idea, you prepare, and there's only so many resources, or can be. And I think I saw somewhere where there was like 6 officers that were around this. If his security really believed something was going to happen, he would have had a vest on or something. And let me tell you, the little vest and stuff. And if he had a vest on, a rifle round is going to go through there. You're better off not even wearing a vest, and just hopefully it's a clean shot through you. You got to have a pretty heavy armored, plated vest to stop a rifle like a 307 or 306, and all this other stuff. The little bitty 223 round will rip right through our vest. They're made for handguns. And if if you're doing some SWAT stuff, or, maybe you've got a good administration and they're preparing you for shit that happens outside of the norm, you get a heavy body armor and helmets and all that other stuff. But to sit and say, guy was giving hand signals with, maybe he was. Maybe that was the hand signals to other security guys to, hey, keep your eyes up or what. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. This guy is responsible for what he did. Right now, nobody else is responsible for him. It's him. And we kind of leave that out because I don't know if we don't want to believe that a 22-year-old kid is, some kind of evil monster that would do this. They're evil kids too. And, until.
Especially ones that are indoctrinated, especially ones that are indoctrinated by leftist fucking ideology to hate anybody conservative.
Yeah, absolutely. But,
so I got to put Cookie, I got to push back on that. If it wasn't for the left and their fucking ideology, that he wouldn't have been radicalized. There's a lot more than he's to blame for ultimately making the decision to kill Charlie, but that had to come from somewhere. And I believe that if you are pushing that kind of narrative, then you are just as culpable as the guy who pulled the trigger.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that somebody else isn't culpable for it. I mean, you can look at all of Congress and Senate, and they're telling get after these people. This guy's this guy's that. We need to get up in the face. We're not taking shit no more. We need to take them out. I mean, so there's a whole lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's this kid that did it. He is responsible for it. Now, peripherally, when they're looking into these things, they're going to look at his computer, phones, tablets, whatever, any notes written, drawings, whatever. They're going to take a look at all this stuff. They're going to try to put together, a pretty good profile of this person. Now, it may come out that that he was indoctrinated, and that's why he did it. But until that comes out, we've got to kind of pull back and let the system play out. And I know we don't have much trust in the federal government and the FBI and this and that. But let me tell you, you got guys that actually work the streets, work real crimes. They're out there working violent crimes. Those guys are going to put the stuff together, not necessarily the FBI. They have all the assets to fingerprints and bullets, ballistics, all that other stuff. That's what they're going to be used for. Maybe they'll charge a federal crime. I don't know. But the guys, the blue blood officers that are out there, those are the ones that are going to make this case, and they're the ones that are going to find the stuff and whatnot. So we kind of got to pull back and let it happen. And I guess the last thing I would say, because it's all conspiracy stuff, if they would just ban trans from having guns, it would stop all murders. I mean, that's stupid to say, right? That's what we kind of talk about.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I actually don't agree with that. I know you were. I just want to let everybody know that I say that I'm a Second Amendment absolutist, and that means that. Because if you do that, you go down the slippery slope of what Biden tried to do with our veterans and say that because they have PTSD, they should have their guns taken away from them. And I don't believe that. I think that's fucking bullshit, to be quite honest with you. All right, Virgil was next, and then Southern Belle, and then I'm Back Jack, and then Doc. Go ahead, Virgil.
Thank you very much, Rob. Wow. My learning a lot about firearms from Alwyn, and I would definitely like to have a space when it comes to talking about firearms. But that would be for another time. But
Oh, I would love
what
that.
I want, I know you would.
I
It's
would
you.
lave that.
I mean, this is already your barbecue and it smells good and all, but I think we can do like a smokehouse space if you think about it. Talking about firearms all day, but I just want to take a moment to honor the father figures and mentors who raised us right, and that's everyone in this room and everyone outside, because those because the fathers, they instilled us with resilience and the courage to stand for what is true. And I learned that from my father. We're grateful for the guidance that they provided, shaping us into individuals capable of disconcernment and honor in a world often concluded by deception. And I think we can all agree that Charlie was one of those voices, a
Absolutely.
beacon of logic. Charlie was a beacon of logic and a reason in the midst of media landscape too often driven by agenda rather than the truth. He spoke boldly against the false narratives that so many were unaware of, challenging the status quo with clarity and conviction. And Charlie knew the risk of the path that he had chose, but it didn't scare him. He walked into it courageously, never backing down from speaking the truth to power. And yes, it is a tragic that Charlie now joins the unsung movement leaders. You know, you mentioned it a little earlier there, Rob. You know, MLK and Kennedy, even Lincoln. But it's unfortunate that their life was taken way too short. Yet the torch gets passed forward. And yes, our opponents on the other side of the table here, the left, they may want us to respond with anger, a call to arms. But we're better than that. At least that's what my father had taught me. And that's one of the greatest lessons that Charlie even taught us as well. The power of reason and measured action in the face of provocation. And, you know, in all fairness here, to those that are celebrating Charlie's passing, I mean, their jubilation has no place in the light. And their reservations in hell. It's already been put on the board for them. So I think going forward, we can all honor Charlie by carrying his torch forward with courage and steadfast optimism.
You know, Virgil, you're right. I do want to mention something about that. Reno, our head of the HR department here, which is a joke because there is no HR department here. And if there was an HR department, I would be in it more than I would be on screen. He wanted me to let you guys know that he put out a post earlier, and I shared it. Conservative Penn shared it about a woman that worked in, I think it was some doctor's office. I'm not 100% sure. And people called so much and shared that post out so much that she was just fired. And he wanted me to relay to everybody that shared that post and didn't make the calls that he truly appreciates it, because what she said was next level. I mean, we're seeing a lot of next level. Look, the evil is outing itself. We don't even have to go looking for it anymore. They're right there, so you can see it. And I love it, and I'm here for it. I am. Southern Belle, you've been waiting a long time. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you. Happy to wait. I'm a why person. How did this kid become the kid he was at this moment yesterday and doing what he did? He was not a student at the time of this university. He was actually at Dixie Technical College. He came from a religious, conservative, Republican family. His father is a retired sheriff and minister, and he is the one who turned his son in. And what was stunning to me is his father said, he only attended one semester. There's a video of him getting a $34,000 check for engineering at the university. He was only there for one semester. His father said, and this is stunning to me because the first semester, you're kind of overwhelmed just trying to find your classes. Do you have the right books? Do you have this? You have that? So you're pretty darn busy. Um, Somehow, in the middle of that noise, he got introduced to people because his father said, after briefly attending for one semester at Utah State University, this was in 2021, he became, as his dad called him, a radicalized Democrat socialist. And at a family dinner before this, he had such a strong dislike for Kirk, he called him full of hate and spreading hate. And they're trying to figure out, was he radicalized online or through education? Now, he was living at home, and in their basement, he was playing a lot of video games, which is typical of this age group. But if you look at the shells that were still in the rifle, uh, those are from video games. Talking about, I'm trying to remember the game because I'm not a. My son whipped through gaming in 2 years and kind of walked away. Thank
Are you
God.
thinking about Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty?
No, no, no. It was a sci-fi um, a game that focused on fascism and democracy, and which was interesting. Because fascism, people don't even really understand the definitions, what I'm finding out. But the engraved ammunition that was recovered, some of it is from the video game. And Helldivers 2, that's the name of it. It's a satirical sci fi shooter game with themes of fascism and democracy. Um, he also communicated via Discord. They found that out from a past roommate. And in there, they found a lot of information, and the FBI was able to acquire it all. But social media discussions, which again is second, third, and makeup or clicks, said he was a weirdo gamer who spent time in his parents' basement playing games and engaging online. But we do not know where he got radicalized. It was that one semester in college, or was it because he was only there for one semester. This was a very smart kid. He had a 4.0 GPA. Very smart kid, and left after one semester, had a full ride, and went home. And then he was in his third year now as a student to become an electrician. It was a program at the local technical college program, but he was living at home. And they saw an abrupt change in their son. And obviously, nothing changed that. So he knew the campus from one semester because he got onto the campus and he got off the campus. Can you possibly be radicalized in one semester in college? I just find that stunning. It that kind of
Yes.
imprinting and
Yes, you can.
behavior change. It's terrifying if that's possible.
Maybe it was a mix between both the video games and then just kind of,
Yeah,
the perfect
yeah,
storm, I
All right.
guess.
So hang on.
yeah.
One thing I'm not going to do. Hang on. One thing I'm not going to do is go down the route that the left did in the 80s and the 90s when it comes to video games, pop culture, and music. The problem is this. While his father might have been a great father, his father was not paying attention to what he's doing. I play video games now. Has never influenced me to kill anybody or want to kill anybody. My son plays the same video games I do. My son is crying in my arms about Charlie Kirk dying. So this is all about, if you are leaving children to be able to formulate this shit on their own, then yeah, maybe they're going to get influenced. But I'm definitely not going down the video game route. The
No, I get where you're going.
More to
I get where you're
anything, it's
going,
the
Patriot.
indoctrination in these fucking colleges, these liberal, leftist fucking scum teachers that are pushing this ideology on the kids, and the kids are spreading it within themselves
Yeah.
because they're
Well,
malleable.
and I didn't really mean that. I
No,
mean
I
more
know.
the Discord thing where they're going, because my kids play video games too, and
Yeah. But
so I get that.
what's interesting about this though is when he won this big scholarship check, he had such a low reaction to it. It was almost like, yeah, whatever. And just kind of standing there. And if you really observe him, he's really detached from his family. He's in his own little world. But there has to be a mindset, almost like a paralyzed part of your brain where you don't feel empathy and different emotions. He didn't have high reactions to anything. I got scholarships and I was dancing all over the house. And so was my parents. But the reality is he gets a $34,000 check, and this is a retired sheriff's family, and he's a minister. So this had to be a massive deal. And his response was, yeah, very low reacting. Obviously, a very smart kid, had great grades. So he was an active student in high school, but he left after one semester. And that is a big red flag. Big red flag. But he was able to manipulate to get on campus and get off of campus. Uh, so he processed that well to make that happen, and he succeeded. But moving forward, we've got to look at kids differently because this kid slipped through the cracks and the parents were not engaged to get him help. And that's terrifying that we're seeing this more and more and more. And they're coming out of families with two parents. And that is something we always said, oh, it's always the single family parent, that type of thing. But just moving forward, we're missing kids. They're getting lost in the system. And could this have been prevented? And that's always going to be the question mark. What could we have done differently? And if we need to learn something from this. Thank you, Patriot.
Thank you, Southern Belle. Jack, go ahead. Wait. Actually, Angela, can you see Penn requesting? Because I can't see her.
Um, yes, I got her. Hold on one second.
Yeah, bring her up, and then I'll send her a co-host. Jack, what is going on, brother?
What's up, Rob? I want to go
shut
back
up for a second. Rob, check your messages. Now, Jack, you can run your gums. I love you.
DMs or text messages?
Text.
You should do both. Redundancy. The fuck's wrong with you?
Shut up, Jack.
But anyhow, I want to actually go back. The record should have skipped with what Chad said before. Everyone should stop and recognize what he said. And that is, why do we not see the kid in these photos the FBI released with the weapon? I don't think you could break that weapon down. I don't care if it was a Mauser or a Remington. I don't think either one has a barrel less than 2 feet long.
Yeah,
Remington
700. Remington 700 barrels, 22 inches.
It depends on which one.
Yeah, it depends on which one.
Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is, let's assume he did break it down. And there's a reason I bring this up, other than just to be contrarian. Let's say he did break it down. You think he took the time to take the pieces out and throw them in the woods, like separate pieces? The FBI's like, oh, I found the barrel. Oh, I got the stock. The kid's not going to stop while he's fleeing to take that gun out of that backpack and whip it in the woods. I don't think so anyhow. And let's assume that he didn't have the gun broken down for a moment. Well, how come the photos that we see show him just walking normally with the backpack on? So what I'm trying to say is, if the FBI has photos of this guy with the weapon, why aren't you releasing those to the public? Why aren't you releasing those? And maybe the kid, they say, oh, well, these are photos from a week ago when we told you that he went up a few times to scout it out. Well, wait a second. So I guess what I'm getting at is, anyone could take a photo of anyone and say, well, this is the guy that we're looking for. It's easy to frame someone with a surveillance camera saying, well, this is our suspect. And it's easy to plant a weapon in the woods and say, oh, we found the weapon.
So before, yes, it could easily have been some crazy kid, right? More than likely, it was some nutbag kid. But before we go reacting, right? Because this is going to drive policy. This event is going to drive policy. Make no mistake about it.
Absolutely.
So before we go reacting, shouldn't we really understand what happened and why? Why would the FBI not tell us the whole truth if they have more information? They went right on TV in a press conference and said, "Oh, we're going to be the most transparent. That's why we shared everything with everybody." And okay, well then explain that discrepancy to me. Why do I not see the kid going up with a weapon or coming down with a weapon? Did we see him come down with the weapon, by the way?
I don't know. The video I saw, the video I saw was him jumping off the fucking roof, hanging and then dropping. I didn't see a gun.
Right?
Yeah, just a backpack.
Okay, so someone has to explain that discrepancy to us, right? We're stupid, but we're not that stupid.
No, we're not that stupid.
So before you swallow this thing whole, we have to go with what we know. And what we know is something doesn't add up with the story they're telling us. So at least give us the information or the answers to some of the discrepancies before we swallow your whole fucking story, right? And then the last thing I'll say is I guess the Washington County Sheriff's Department came out with a statement saying that this guy is not, hang on. They released a statement saying information has been circulating indicating
Wrong family.
that what's that? Yeah, wrong family,
They're
right?
comparing him to the wrong family in their Facebook post about how Republican and he was a Washington or Hurricane, which is ironic. Hurricane Utah, Washington police. They said that the retired Mr. Robinson is not the same one, is not the father of this guy.
So that doesn't mean his father, I guess, could still easily be a retired sheriff's deputy. Is that what we're getting at?
I don't know, but from what I think that whole statement from that police department is saying that people are comparing this family, and the left is going off saying that they're all MAGA and shit when it's the wrong family.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of people named Mr. Robinson or whatever, Matthew Robinson. And they felt the need to put out a statement saying that the Matthew Robinson that you are connecting this Robinson to is not the same.
Right. That's good. Thank you, Chad. So the bottom line is this. Chad brought up a great point. It should have put everyone back in their chair, right? Because before we go reacting, we need to know what the fuck happened. It's not about being a conspiracy theorist or anything like that.
I agree.
In fact, we should stop using that word. When you're going to talk about people that are working together in concert to do something evil or illegal, we should say that they collaborated because they've destroyed the word, right? We can't even use it anymore without everyone expecting us to turn around with the tinfoil hat. So just shift your vocabulary to the word collaborated, right? Because we need to know if this kid was collaborating and if he was, who he was collaborating with. But good catch, Chad. That was a good one.
Or the co-conspirators. The conspirators, yeah.
Yeah, co-conspirators. All right.
Well, I guess Chad, throw you back in your chair one more time. I've spoken, I know that Jack knows, I know Rob knows. I have a lot of intelligence friends that play in this spooky world. And I have talked to 5 of them, and not one of them said this was some retarded kid that decided to get on a roof.
Okay.
These guys lived in this world, and they're all saying the same thing.
All right.
Did you check that text message?
I did. And listen, man, I didn't look at the picture long enough initially. And so AI is saying that this is definitely a Remington Model 700. And if that's the case,
right? now it's a number, bro.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, try putting that in your backpack.
Yeah, no, you're not, unless it's a breakdown. And it's not. The picture they showed was not a fucking breakdown.
30-06 is loud.
Yeah.
Loud. That's a loud rifle. That's
a
kill weapon right there. Dear gun.
So, guys, hang on one second. I'm going to do a quick space reset. Thank you guys very much for coming in today on Critical Mass with me, your host, Rob. If you guys can continue to share the space, and up in the nest is the live link. If you could share the live link too, that would be greatly appreciated. And we do have a chatter room running right now, and I actually see a hand over there. So thank you guys over in the space for being patient. I'm going to go to the question we have over in chatter. Andrew, what's going on?
Yeah. Hey, Rob. Man, thanks for taking my question. So I'm so glad y'all just talked about if that gun was a breakdown gun or not, because I figured he did break it down and just had it in his backpack. But so
There
y'all are
was not
100% sure there's no way that could happen.
that not in the amount of time to take apart
Okay,
a
because
Remington,
I
taking
remember
apart a
breaking
Remington.
my weapon apart in basic training and putting it back together, and it did not take me that very long.
What were you taking apart? An M4?
Yeah.
Okay, vastly different.
Yeah, were you running in the woods?
Yeah, were you running off a building and jumping off a building and trying to get?
No, definitely wasn't doing that.
Okay, so you were sitting
Okay,
stationary while
so
taking it apart. Yeah.
But wait,
yeah.
there's more.
Okay, gotcha.
But wait,
And
wait, wait, wait,
then
wait.
the other
But
question.
wait. The video of him going before walking there, he had it down in his pants. Why would he not break it down and put it together in a bathroom or something and then walk with it in his pants? But he walked all the way through a neighborhood with a Remington 700 or a Mauser 98 down his leg. That's why he was limping.
Then that's what I walk around with every day in my pants.
I expected that to come from Jack, not you.
Listen, I did. That's what she said. Yeah, no, I got to lighten the load a little. Well, lighten the mood a little bit. I definitely
Can I
need to.
ask a
Also, what
question?
she said.
Who's asking? Is that Leah?
No, it was me. Angela? Can I
Oh.
ask you, y'all talked about this earlier about it not being like it wasn't his shot that would make him not a professional. It was all of the other activity that kind of helped with the whole scenario and getting him out. Okay, so what about that one guy, that elderly guy that was like, I know I need an attorney. He was being very dramatic when they arrested him there, that bald guy. Like, I'm wondering if he was a distraction, or didn't they arrest some? I mean, I know that there was a lot of activity, like that one guy that was stood up and was cheering, that his name is David or something. They've called him out. I mean, he's on X or whatever.
Even
And
Elon called his ass out.
right. So I'm wondering if when you're talking about a professional hit, if they had all of these other little things going on all around as a distraction to help Tyler get away from the roof, which would have
Very
bought him
good
more
point.
time.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason this is good is because this goes back to Discord. Because none of the cells working on an operation in the different aspects of an information or operation will necessarily know about each other because of what happened on September 11th by taking down all of them. This whole thing could have been a very easily thing where there was two proxies, because one guy got arrested saying, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. That was the one when Cash Patel said that they have the guy. And then the guy right off the rip was the old guy that was sitting there saying, I did it. And then they took him down to the ground and he said, I have the right to remain
silent. Yep.
And if you look at the one where Cash put out that whole thing saying we got the suspect, I promise you they went over the radio, said we got a suspect. Everybody stopped looking. That gave that guy a lot of time.
A lot of time to get away. Yep.
Hey, Rob, I wasn't able to get my question off.
Yeah.
'Cause
Go
my
ahead, Andrew. Go
service
ahead.
went
Go
bad.
ahead. Yep.
All right. Would a bulletproof shield like they have on the Pope Mobile or something, would something like that have stopped this type of a round?
30-06. It really all depends, dude.
If it's on the
I just wonder if, as we're talking about like policy and stuff moving forward.
If it's on the Pope Mobile or the president moving, yeah, like Chad just said, yeah, if it's on the Pope Mobile or the president, yeah, it'll stop it.
Okay, I mean,
it won't stop at 50 though. Fucking barely anything stops at fucking 50.
Hey, Rob, this is Jim Bob. Could I chime in for just a second? I'm on my lunch and I have like 5 minutes left.
All right. So everybody in the space, yeah, Jim Bob is in here on his lunch. Let's let him go. Thank you guys for your patience and keeping your hands up. Go ahead, Jim Bob.
All right. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it, man. So I posted a picture down in the purple pill on what a German Mauser 98K looks like. And the German Mauser weighs in at 9 pounds naked and unloaded. It's also like 43 inches long. So you try shoving a 43-inch long gun down your pants and see how that works out. Let me know and take a video of it because I want to see it. So that's all I got.
I'm going to do it right now, live on film, live on video. No, I'm kidding. No, you're right. We actually said that it's 8.2 to 9 pounds dry. And that's a pretty fucking long gun to try to hide in your pants. I agree. Penn, who do we have next? I see we have a lot of freaking hands.
We have Doc, then Rooster, and then Liz, and then Cookie,
Gorda, and Xbox. Okay. You guys remember the order, damn it, so I don't have to.
Yeah. Doc, go ahead.
All right. I've got a few points to touch on. They're probably not going to be real popular, but I have to provide a counterpoint. I'll keep it as brief as I possibly can out of respect for the people waiting. First of all, we're less than 72 hours out. We've still got a whole lot more emotions than facts. It's real easy to we have to be real careful at this point. Like I say, emotions are running high, and it's real easy to categorize and demonize, the opposition in general, on the basis of one or several bad actors. We have to be real careful about that. In fact, I participated in it earlier today, and I owe a dear friend a profuse apology for my part in it. But it's real easy to fall into that trap. All those people are bad. All those people are inhuman, and that way lies some really bad shit. Uh, I think it's important for all of us to kind of take a beat, take a breath, consider what we're thinking and what we're saying and where it's coming from. This is an awful thing. Uh, this there's absolutely no excuse for it. Uh, but before going down the rabbit hole of it's all this group or that group and painting them with a broad brush and then acting on that. Let's see how the facts shake out over the next few days. And one more thing, real quick. The investigation's ongoing. Most of that stuff is not going to be shared with the public. First time it's going to see the public eye is when it's presented to a jury, and that's for a specific reason. Several of us in here have been targeted by the legal system for various things, based on the slimmest of evidence. Let's not be too quick to apply that, because it's in a direction that favors us, because that's going to be coming back our way too. I'll leave it at that.
Thanks, Doc.
Can I ask Shakespeare a question, though? Can I ask him a question, Rob? Do you mind?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to understand the factual information that we have been given. We are putting out and I looking at and saying, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm trying to understand what you're warning us of, because you said action too. All we're doing is talking about the information the government has given us, and talking about the validity of that and how stuff doesn't make sense. Is that wrong? Or we not should not do that?
Well, just real briefly, everything that comes out within 72 hours of any event is all over the place. A lot of it doesn't make sense. A whole bunch of it isn't true. And facts come out as as an investigation progresses. That's
Sir, they
that's
took
all
a
I'm saying.
picture
Be
of a
careful
gun in the
reacting to stuff
woods.
because you may be shown something that isn't even pertinent.
So then our government should be better about what they put out to the public for us to analyze, because the gun, they took a picture of it on the ground in the woods and said, this is the gun. We're saying that's not even a Mauser. AI saying it's not a Mauser. Like, I'm trying to understand where we're wrong and what we're doing, and if because I want to listen, but at the same time, I feel like we have just as much responsibility to analyze what we're being given, because we are on a time crunch too. If we're going to end up with another JFK scenario where we've been told from some dude from a book depository shot somebody perfectly, you know, if we're going to be about information and make it about that's what we do on X, then I think we need to put our best foot forward. I agree with you. Actionables are something that needs to be rediscussed with the people that want civil war. And I have plenty of posts out there saying, who exactly are you fighting? That's silly. But to be able to analyze what we're put out as either laymen or former experts in our fields, be it military and SWAT and other people that are talking, like Michael Biden's assistant that's talking about how he was hit, and all of these people that are out there analyzing this, is it not our job and what X is supposed to do to level the playing field between our media and the government that has already tried to pull wool over our face 100 times to keep them honest?
Yeah. Well, that's an awful lot to address, and like I say, I want to be respectful of people waiting to talk. The thing is, right after an event, let's take something like J6, for example. The vehicle for release of information is media, and they'll present things that will get them more viewership, even if it's not necessarily pertinent or factual. You know. Uh, Others in this room could speak a hell of a lot more accurately on that event than I could. But the things that were presented to evoke a reaction right out the gate had a profound effect later on trials. On a jury pool. That's why we need to not put too much stock in what we're being shown right now. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So before we get to the rest of these hands, I want to thank everybody over at Chatter for coming in and joining us right now. I want to thank everybody that's in the space right now. We are coming to the closing time of the live, not the space. Please don't leave the space or the chatter. But the live has got a 2-hour limit on it, and we're coming up to that time right now. So I'm going to say my goodbyes to everybody on the live, and then we're gonna, if you are watching right now and you want to join in on the conversation, go to my profile at the Rob1772 on X. It is pinned to the top of my profile. Join in on the space. We have my co-hosts up here, Conservative Penn and Goldilocks. If you request up, come on up and join the conversation. If you are over on Chatter, if you guys want to share this out and bring people in and try to dominate DTN and their insanity, please do, because let's have this conversation. With that, I want to say thank you guys very much for watching the show. I thank you guys truly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, for all your support, for being here 3 days a week, watching me do this, talking to you guys. I want you guys to have a great weekend. This is a very, very, very tough week. This is a very sad week. This is a very heartbreaking week. We will get through this. We are strong enough. We are powerful enough that we are going to come together and we're going to fight this evil together. You just have to stop being afraid to do it. And with that, man up, fight back, zero fucks. Have a great night.